Hi everyone, and welcome to another issue of Still Only 35 Cents. For this one, we've got an unboxing from the UK with a little bit of history from Stan Lee and Marvel UK. Alright, let's get this started. So, just a bit of background. I got this order a couple of months back, and I've split the packages up. This one is the first one to come through, and I really wanted to get this piece of history back home. There's a few other books in there, so we'll unbox the box and then have a look and see what that piece of history is, and I'll give you a bit of a breakdown. So let's get this box. And here it is. Wow. Okay, let's see. Let's open this up. Being very careful. Okay. Put that aside. Nice bit of packaging. Let's get rid of the bubble wrap. So, what have we got first? So, first up, it looks like a full set, full run of Mr. Miracle. We'll open those up later and we'll give them a bit of a bag and board, and then we'll showcase which issues we have in here. Just as a bit of background, I sent some of these off directly to CGC from the auction house. I think I've submitted 1, 4, 6 for submission. So when I get some notes on that, I'll send those off. Next up, I definitely know this is Demon, Jack Kirby again. Wanted to get this set. I think the number 1 is the one that I've submitted to CGC already directly through the auction house. So that's on its way. So that'll be good to bag and board. And then another collection of Marvel Superheroes UK magazine. Now, this, the part of this run has the legendary Alan Moore Captain Britain run in it. So I've been picking those up when I can. I did select a couple of issues, 377, 387 and 388 to go to CGC for grading direct from the auction house. But I've got the rest here. Again, I'll bag and board these and then we'll go through the collection and talk about some of the issues in here. But I think the pièce de résistance, yep, it's here. The pièce de résistance, I'll just move this stuff, let's get this out. Pièce de résistance is this beauty. So I haven't opened this yet. I've seen the photos. This is a press release from I believe 1977. This was issued to the press from Marvel UK to celebrate the launch of Captain Britain and also the launch of Stan Lee's Bring On the Bad Guys book and his visit to the UK. This is a really interesting piece of Marvel history, Marvel UK history in particular, and I'll take you through in a minute when we open this up, but this item is, to me, the starting point of Captain Britain, and it just is an amazingly interesting piece of memorabilia to have in the collection. As you can see, having the folder and it's gold embossed on this beautiful red. So let's open it up and give you a sense of what's in here. So here it is, this press pack that was produced essentially for the launch of Captain Britain in October 1976. This was issued by the then editor Neil Tennant, who you may or may not know was a Marvel editor back for Marvel UK in the 70s. And he later went on to be part of the Pet Shop Boys. So that's always been a little bit of an interesting thing about this whole piece, that Neil Tennant kicked off his career back at Marvel UK. And you'll see him referenced in here alongside phone numbers and the old office in London. But as you can see here, it's I got this from a UK auction house. The provenance on this is apparently the person that sold this was one of the creative team there in terms of pulling together the magazines. And so hence they kept this. So let's go through it. You can see on the top here, it's got pictures written in pen that's sort of faded now. But the thing that I really love is this sort of gold embossed The Marvel Age of Comics folder, which I'm assuming is probably US based and was brought over to the UK, not necessarily created in the UK, but it's a nice little collectible piece to have because of the fact that I've never seen one of these before. So again, another great piece to add to the collection. So let's open this thing up and see what you get inside. So you can see here, it's got the Mighty World of Marvel logo, which was the magazine that was run in the UK reprint issues of the American books from 1972. So they've put that as the letterhead here. You can see the address, High Holborn, London, WC1 V6RZ. You've got the old phone number, room 109. And then this is essentially the press release for Captain Britain. So it reads, Captain Britain, cover dated October 13th. Captain Britain is the new weekly comic from Mighty World of Marvel, publishers of the new Super Spider-Man, the Titans, Planets of the Apes, and the aforementioned Mighty World of Marvel. It feature every week in full colour the adventures of Captain Britain, the UK's first Marvel superhero, plus the Fantastic Four, Marvel's most popular team of superheroes, and Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., secret agent in action, in full colour. The launch of Captain Britain will be backed up by free gifts and national trade and TV advertising. Stan Lee, the creator and publisher of Marvel Comics, whose Roundhouse show last year was a sellout, will be visiting Britain in October to promote his new comic and his latest book, Bring on the Bad Guys. On a Thursday, October 14th, Stan will be signing copies of both book and comic from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Words and Music, 120 Charing Cross Road, London, W1. He will also be meeting trade and press in London, Edinburgh, Glasgow and Leeds. And then we have the footnote there in terms of the Marvel Comics registered address, Newgate Street, London, EC1. And then the directors, Sheldon Feinberg, Stan Lee, Arnold Levitt, Stuart L. Friedman. All American, please note. If you would like more information on Captain Britain and Stan Lee, please phone Mr. Pet Shop Boys himself, Neil Tennant, on 01405 2851. I sort of want to give that phone number a call and just see if it's still working, but I doubt it. So that's the Captain Britain piece. And then the next one is the piece around Marvel Comics UK. So again, with the Mighty World of Marvel header, Marvel Comics entered the traditional British weekly comic in October 1972 with the publication of Mighty World of Marvel. 4 years later, the Mighty World of Marvel has passed its 200th issue, and 3 other Marvel weeklies are flourishing. The Titans, Planet of the Apes, and New Super Spider-Man. Brand new weekly, Captain Britain, has an October 6th launch date. Captain Britain takes Marvel into 2 new fields. It's the first superhero story to be drawn and written especially for British weeklies, and its first Marvel weekly to feature colour, 16 pages of it. Aside from the weeklies, world distributors continue to sell some 500,000 imported American Marvel comics each month, as well as publishing this year's Marvel annuals. And the Condé Nast Publications distributors of Marvel's weeklies have put on sale giant-size Marvel Treasury editions and full-colour Marvel classic comics. Marvel's superhero characters are well on the way to becoming household names, little did they know. Spider-Man cartoons are shown regularly on television, and the Super Spider-Man Roadshow, a series of personal appearances by Spidey at selected ABC cinemas minors matinees is breaking box office records all over the country. Many famous British toy manufacturers are introducing ranges of Marvel superhero toys. Palitoy, Airfix, and Denny's Fisher are among the big names offering Marvel merchandise this Christmas, and many other manufacturers have Marvel toys planned for the next year. For more information on Marvel Comics, please contact Pet Shop Boys Neil Tennant on 01 405 2851. What an awesome piece of history there. And then last but not least, we've got Stan's biography, which I assume, looking at this, has had some coffee spilt in it, which I think, let's hope it's Stan's coffee, because that would be hilarious. I assume this has come from the US, though, because this is, I believe that looks like a US letterhead press release biography sheet. So this has probably come over from the US to be added to this pack here. So for immediate release, Spidey's Face, Marvel Comics Group, division of Cadence Industries Corporation, Stan Lee's biography. Although he's surrounded by a horde of characters who speak from balloons over their heads, Marvel Comics Group publisher Stan Lee has his feet firmly on the ground. Comic books whose total volume is approaching 200 million annually are big business, and Lee is in no small measure responsible for their success. He joined Marvel Comics' predecessor, Timely Comics, in 1939 as a copywriter and assistant to the editor. Shortly thereafter, a change in management took place, and Lee was asked by the publisher to serve as editor and art director until an older man could take over the assignment. He was 17 at the time. As it turned out, Lee's temporary position became permanent, and he remained executive editor and art director, as well as head writer, for nearly 3 decades. During that time, Lee wrote no fewer than 2 complete comic books per week, which may well be the largest amount of published work ever created by a single writer. As if this prestigious output weren't sufficient, Lee also wrote newspaper articles, radio scripts, special magazines, television scripts, and screenplays. His career at Marvel was interrupted by service with the US Signal Corps during World War II, one of only 9 men in the US Army to be given military classification playwright. He was a specialist in the creation of training films, film scripts, second instructional texts, and manuals. In 1960, Stan Lee ushered in the so-called Marvel Age of Comics, creating now legendary characters of comicdom as Spider-Man, the Hulk, the Fantastic Four, the Silver Surfer, Doctor Strange, and many others. He also breathed new life into some faltering old favourites, Captain Marvel, Captain America, and the Submariner among them. But most importantly, Lee revolutionized the comic book industry by introducing a new type of theme, superhero tales which were both realistic and relevant. This is the genre of comic book character which is still the greatest appeal today, a mythological product of the imagination that is bigger than life, yet has some human flaws, a being that lets the reader both fantasize and empathize. Lee was named publisher of Marvel Comics in January 1972, and since that time, under his direction, Marvel has become the largest best-selling comic book company in the world. Readership is also worldwide, with translated copies selling at newsstands from Europe to the Far East. Contrary to popular opinion, the demography of comic book readership extends well beyond the pre-teen age group. It's estimated that at least 25% of Marvel Comics readers are 16 and over. Each year, Lee lectures on comics to enthusiastic audiences at such colleges and universities as Yale, Princeton, NYU, Harvard, and Temple. In addition, he has conducted seminars on communicating with teenagers at a number of leading advertising agencies, including J. Walter Thompson and Young and Rubicam. Busy as it is, Stan Lee finds time for a number of other activities. He organised and was the first president of ACBA, the Academy of Comic Book Arts. He's a long-time member of the Academy of TV Arts and Sciences and the National Cartoonist Society. He's written screenplays for such current directors as Alain Resnais. He is the author of the best-selling Origins of Marvel Comics, published in 1974 by Simon & Schuster. And he has produced, in partnership with the children's television workshop Electric Company, a special comic book for youngsters with reading problems called Spidey Super Stories. Marvel's Spider-Man character has also been a regular on Electric Company programs. As for the future, a new series of publishing projects is underway, along with a feature-length film of Spider-Man, with Lee serving as an associate producer. Incredible, fantastic, bigger than life. That's Stan Lee. Amazing. So that's it. Although, before we go, I did want to show you something that fits perfectly with this. Now, I'm a big fan of Captain Britain, and so I thought to end this showcase of this piece of Marvel history, I'd show another piece of Marvel history that I recently got back from CBCS. That as I mentioned, I'm a big collector of Captain Britain. I have a number of his issues, and I also have the CGC Registry, the best Bronze Age set in 2022. So the best registry set for Captain Britain, and that particular run, which ran from issue 1 through to issue 39. But what I came across more recently was this book that I'm about to show you, which fits perfectly with this, because I believe this book was one of the books that Stan signed when he was in the UK for this event. And so this is my copy of Captain Britain #1, signed by Stan Lee, verified by CBCS. You can see the signature here in biro. There are a number of these out there. I wanted to get this, and when I found the press release on the auction site, it was like, this is the perfect companion to have with this book. So there you have it, folks. A vintage press release from Marvel UK celebrating the launch of Captain Britain and Stan Lee's visit to the UK. Thought that would be a fantastic piece to share with you all. Love to hear your comments down below. Tell me what you thought of it. If you've got any other sort of interesting pieces of memorabilia, I'd love to cover more of this type of thing on the channel, because I think these moments in history, you know, that you don't get to sort of hold these in your hand. So if you have anything like this, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. So that's it for this show. As you can see, very, very pleased to have this in my possession. It's not often you get something like this direct from the House of Marvel, and to get a piece of UK history like this is just another great story in the Captain Britain journey. And the only regret, I wish Stan would have signed this back when he was alive, would have finished off perfectly. But I think it'll go well with the ongoing Captain Britain collection. So until next time, don't forget to hit that like button. Please feel free to comment, and then please subscribe and hit that notification bell for any new videos we've got coming soon. I'll see you soon.